Hello everyone. Now we will discuss about the Bloom theory, which is one of the important theories in instructional design. Bloom theory was founded more than 5 decades ago, but until today, educational specialists and learning psychologists are using the Bloom theory for designing the instructional media and also the online content. Bloom theory is very useful for the online media designers and the online mentor in 3 ways. Number one is that the Bloom theory can help the designer to decide on the level of the complexity of the content that they will put into the digital media. The second is the Bloom theory can be applied to shape the expectation of the mentor or designers on how the audience will use that information in the online content. And the third is to use the Bloom theory to design the test, examinations or exercise to be incorporated in the online sessions. So we will talk about the level of the thinking skills or the capacity of the brain of the audience that Bloom identified in the early days. The first level is the ability to remember. The second level is the ability to understand. The third level is the ability to apply. The fourth level is the ability to analyze. The fifth level is the ability to synthesize, and the sixth level is the ability to evaluate. Now we will explain the level of abilities that identified by Bloom in more detail. The ability to remember is the audience is willing to take the information on the knowledge and keep them in the memory of the brain for future use. Ability to understand. Audience attempt to make sense of the information and relate them to their previous direct experience. Ability to apply. Audience connect the new knowledge with possibility to help them to solve problems and being more practical. Ability to analyze. Audience break down the contents they receive into small pieces so they can understand better. Ability to synthesize. Audience connect small dots together so they can see big picture. And ability to evaluate. Audience start to determine usefulness of the new knowledge and decide whether they want to use them. So these are the details of the 6 levels of Bloom's. Now we would like to give the summary of the Bloom theory. So the Bloom theory has given 6 levels of the ability to think of the audience. The first one is the ability to remember. That means that to keep information into their memory in their brain. The second one is the ability to understand. So the audience try to make sense of the information that it is useful to them. The third is the ability to apply. So they are trying to make use of information to solve problems. The fourth is the ability to analyze. Audience will try to break down the information into different pieces or jigsaws or dots so that they can understand things better. And the fifth level is the ability to synthesize. At this point, the audience will put together the small pieces or jigsaws so that they can see the big pictures, the meaning of that information. And last is the 6th level, which is more complex, that the audience will evaluate the information, whether they can make use of that information after they finish the training. The key takeaway of the Bloom theory is that we can use the thinking skill or the ability of the brain of the audience to set a learning objective, and also use them to measure the level of the learning achievement when the audience participating in the online sessions.